Hello. Today we're going to take a look at a blaster I showed you the other day, and, well, we're not going to modify it for performance because, well, I don't have a better replacement for this. So instead, we're going to be doing this. The light circuit for it, because why not have tactical lights? And also, this is a red LED out of one of those styrofoam Halloween tombstones that, well, they don't survive if you zip tie them to the headache rack on your pickup and then drive at freeway speeds. Instead, they get ripped in half, so you can instead salvage the LEDs and like maybe a foot of wire out of them. This is a red LED, and it will go inside of this disc here. I'm not going to try to show you, but the way they made this on the other half of on these is that you can actually see light through them, like there was meant to be a speaker in there. So light's going to come out of it, and if I have to, I can widen channels and add clear material and whatnot, so that more light gets out, which will look cool, I think. It's still going to run off of this enormous toggle switch here. I took all of the epoxy putty off, one, because it wasn't positioned in here in a way that I liked. It was sort of crooked and not how I wanted it, but it's going to go in here. I guess that's roughly the same way it was, but I'm going to apply pressure to it with tape while the putty is setting. And also, the putty I used in here, I didn't mix it. I just ripped a chunk off of the tube, packed it around there, and set it in there. Not mixing the two parts together, not kneading it into one. So there was no chemical reaction. It was just kind of like really old blue tack, or, well, unmixed epoxy putty that had been sitting in here exposed to the air and sort of reacting, but not really. So I've already started up a wiring, I guess I can call it a wiring loom, with some of this wire I have that's kind of like the cord you'd find on most, like, small appliance type, well, not appliances, but just household items like alarm clocks and odd lamp things and whatnot, that where the two wires are together and you have one marked with a tracer and the other one's all black. And I'm going to use the tracer wire as my positive, which will be cut off by the switch, which is why it's cut off in the loom here for the switch. The negative is going to be longer. I've balled up this end so that it will get good contact with the bottom of our battery, because I'm going to tin that and make a ball of solder there, so that when I just run tape or whatever over it to temporarily hold the battery in, it'll get good contact. And then with the positive, I'll do the same thing I did with the crystal bearing, which I've decided to call it now, where I just feed the wire through these two holes in the top of the battery, and I'll tin that piece of wire too so it doesn't fray and make that difficult. So, some of the equipment I'm using here, a pair of safety scissors because they're cheap and I had them and I had loads of them, a fingernail clipper, which is actually kind of really good at stripping wire if you don't, I mean, they're so compact and they will strip almost any gauge of wire. If they don't work for your gauge of wire, you can upgrade to a toenail clipper, which is kind of excessive. I have those actually for my toenails, and if that's not enough, you need probably something larger than your standard household wire stripper we work with anyways. I have this this is intentionally made for soldering, I think. It's an alligator clip on a piece of uninsulated cable in a block of semi-translucent plastic. That was apparently made as a promotional item by American Express. I have a coil of solder and some flux paste, as well as electrical tape, and 2 sizes of shrink wrap, because shrink wrap is awesome. It makes your soldering look really super good. And I think I may include a little bit, give me a second, may use some aluminum foil tape, just a really narrow strip of it around the base of my, I think this is an Exide bulb and this is an LED. This is the replacement bulb for a mini mag light. It runs on 3 volts. This runs on 3 volts, as this came from a source of 2 AA batteries. This came from a source of 2 AAA batteries. Both of those are in circuits where the batteries would run in series, not parallel. And this is a 3-volt battery, which is of that kind by Energizer. And those are kind of expensive in small units. If you were to order those on Amazon in like a bulk of like 10, the cost per unit would go down to where they'd maybe be like $1 a piece. They're kind of spendy for batteries, but they're somewhat compact. They last forever on LED circuits, so I'm not complaining. Yeah. There's nowhere in here where you could put a AAA battery pack except maybe here and have the shelf closed, but this will fit with ease. So I'm not sure where I'm going to start. You can see that with this, there is no insulation here except for this. There's a sandwich layer between this black plastic and this steel face. There's an insulative material there. It looks like it's the same kind of material that green boards are made out of. That's the only material I know to parallel that to. I'm sure it is the same stuff, but I'm fairly certain, I guess. Not sure. And then what I use for this flux, because it's a paste, is I use this flathead screwdriver. This particular one, because I don't use it for anything else. It has a small face there, and what you can do most of the time is just take your wire and feed it into the opening there, and it'll cover it fairly evenly with flux. And that flux just kind of attracts solder when it's hot, when the solder is hot. I am going to reposition you really quick. I'm going to tin the end of this. This is going to be the end that goes in the battery. I'm not sure whether or not this flux is a contact. Is it serious contact? It says wash thoroughly before eating, so I guess you don't want to ingest a whole lot of the stuff, or any of it at all. Alright, I am going to take you to the edge of my table to show you my soldering irons down here on my side table, which is a broken mini fridge, which is why there's a mini fridge there that's black instead of one that's like to here that's white. Because, well, that one died, and I couldn't fix it. Let us guide you forward and angle you downward. And here I have my, you can't really see a lot like that. Yes, sponsored by Coke, covertly. This is a piece of an old entertainment set board, particle board, that I know won't catch fire from having a soldering iron placed on it. And then I'm using these lockjaw pliers here to weigh it down so it doesn't roll away or roll into me and burn me. Because this is really hot. We've got this, and we've got our here. So this side we fluxed. And if you don't know, tinning just means to give a layer of solder without bonding it to something else. You're just bonding the solder to your wire or whatever else. We're going to put it in this alligator clip and set it here. And this is the part where I should be wearing safety glasses. That's just to protect you from the smoke that impurities make when they heat up. And also, I've discovered sometimes solder will bubble and pop, and getting this stuff in your face is not a great idea. I'm going to start by heating up the solder, the tip of the soldering iron. Then I'm going to heat up my material and apply solder. Again. This isn't the greatest soldering iron in the world, and I'm not an expert on this either. So...
Before I put my soldering iron away is, well, for one, I've already cooled it down, made sure that it is now safe to the touch, and is definitely unplugged, with all of its cord right here in front of me. I ran this under the sink, to make sure it was cooled down and safe, and I'm going to clean it with Scotch Brite Pad to get all of the oxidation off the tip. And this is sort of a fruitless effort, though, because once it's plugged in and begins to scale up to temperature, it will immediately oxidize again. But, and this probably opens up more surface area for bad things like, getting my solder stuck to the tip of it, and creates more surface area to oxidize. But it's what I do. I think it's for the better of this. I could coat this in flux, and I would if I weren't in a dorm with, like, lots of fire sensors and fire safety systems.
So that was entirely too long and will probably 100% be sped up. I showed you that this works, and that's about it. I'm going to lock that all down with hot glue, find a way to center this in the front top barrel. All the barrels are in the front. The top barrel, where it was before, and lock it all down permanently, and out of the way, and it'll be good to go. So that was a wiring demo, which took forever. So, bye.